Good morning, everybody. Let's have a look at the cryptocurrency market and stocks and Bitcoin, obviously, because I've noticed that some of the people in the comments seem to have like a 100% win ratio. They're the same people who, when this dipped down here, and I said that's not the dip for me. I'm going to load up at a lower area. They were saying, "You scared me off from buying the dip. You fool! You scared me from buying the dip." And now that's it. It's not going to go lower. You scared me off. And now that it's dipped lower and it's filled a lot of my orders, now they're saying it's going to go lower. Your 50 exponential moving average is just a red herring. It means nothing. You got a 100% win ratio according to your comments. Why are you even watching anybody on YouTube? If I had a 100% win ratio, there's no need to watch anyone on YouTube, is there? Just go out and have a nice life. Why waste 10, 15 minutes watching me if your strategies are superior? I don't know what's going on with these people. I know what's going on with them. They're not very positive people. Trolls. Right, let's get stuck in then, shall we? So, here we are, back on the 50 exponential. I like it because it's a moving average that holds relevance. You can see that, I can see that, it's relevant. But that doesn't mean that it's made out of, like, titanium. It can obviously break, as all moving averages do. The guide here is that it's an uptrend. It's trending up. And when you come down to retest it, it acts as support. If you're going to get a bounce from it, you shall bounce. And the next moving average of any significance being the 20 moving average, where you got a rejection from. It's not magic. It's just a simple trading strategy. And along with this, we did have all these drives of hidden bullish divergence that met this second time we touched it, that had that nice little bounce up to the second time we touched that. So as I've been saying, what we're seeing really is a symmetrical triangle of sorts in the form of moving averages. There's your trajectory of your 50, here's your trajectory of the 20, and basically it's a range, down to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom, up to the top, down to the bottom. Right, so at this point, what are we expecting? Are we going to go back up to the top for a rejection, or are we going to break? There's quite a lot of space left in this kind of symmetrical triangle formation. It is, so it could resolve at any point, and the sooner it does it, the larger the move. You don't want to get to the end of an apex. You want to do it sooner rather than later. So if we do start to close below the 50 exponential on Bitcoin here, then you should really think about targeting perhaps maybe the 200. Another line. That's right, it is another line. But these things, again, they're not magic. But the last time we touched this line, what happened? Oh my God, $60,000 all the way up to 109 or 108. That's what happened the last time we touched it. So look, my trading strategy is my trading strategy. It's good enough to make a living from. If you don't like it, find somebody else's that you can like. I just don't understand why people would watch a video that they detest. Right, so that's the situation on the daily. We've got other stuff going on though. On the 4 hour, we've got death crosses now. We've got death crosses on simples, which are over here. We've got death crosses now formed yesterday. On exponentials, adding the major resistances now at 96,150 and 98,200. Oh God, what are we going to do? Oh. So these things are now resistances, and the shorter term timeframes have now got downtrends established on them. They've also got short signals as far as 4 hours is concerned. And if we're going to measure on a horizontal, we've got 92,800, 92,000, yes, around 92,500 we'll call it, acting as a horizontal support in what would appear to be another triangle formation. We got ourselves a descending triangle formation. There you go. That's the sort of situation that we're seeing on the 4 hourly, with a bearish overtone to it, because again, death crosses signify a strengthening of a downtrend. Oh my God, it's all over. What's going to happen? So then we have to think about, all right, what's the long-term situation? What's the higher-term time frame situation? Well, it's one of a very bullish chart. However, bearish divergence probably still has a little further to run on this one. So if it did go down further, I wouldn't at all be surprised. I would not be surprised in the slightest So we talked about this, the last couple of days. The 10 exponential being somewhat of a support, but not my favourite, because as much as we do see relevance from it, we touched it here, 40,000 all the way up to 73,000. That's nice. Okay, that's good. Okay, it works. It's okay. That's in a nice trending move. It's good. We did see a sharp pullback into that area. Let's just measure it for fun. Because I imagine, when this was happening, not that I can remember, people would have been saying, "No, it's finished, it's over now." But it doesn't appear to be. So it was a 17.5% drop, only to get bounced off that 10, moving all the way back up. We did have overheated money flow index reads over here, which effectively created some bearish divergence and more bearish divergence over here. It's over, man. It's over. But we did bounce and have a significant move. So there's a chance that you can bounce from there, which is 90,700. It wouldn't at all surprise me to see that. But losing that area, you are now looking at sort of the lower 80s, perhaps maybe the upper 70s. Oh my God. No, how will we get through this? My average buy for Bitcoin was only $4,000. How will I manage to survive such a catastrophic low price of $78,000? Oh, well, it's for you to decide. Again, as far as I'm concerned, this isn't over. None of it is over. It's all part of the overall vibe, which is one of a continuous uptrend, which I think is going to resolve to the upside, to be fair, pretty soon. Whether you sweep these lows and jump straight out, or we have already hit the lows and we're just sort of faking out at the moment. It's not fully broken down at all. In fact, you can't really consider it a breakdown until you've lost at least the 20 moving average around 77,600. So I'm all up for this to resolve, as I've been saying, any minute now, literally any minute now. But if it has to go down first before it goes back up, so be it. It's no big deal. So there's your overview of Bitcoin. It's worth thinking about that because it's still extremely bullish on the daily. On the weekly, it's only the 4 hourly as far as I'm concerned, which you have to monitor, which means if you start getting rejections from those areas, then we should be looking for lower. So again, rejections from any one of these moving averages, especially this one, the 96,001 or 200. So recognize that for what it's worth. It exists. It's a downtrend on the 4 hourly, massive uptrend on the daily and the weekly. So, just put that in a cauldron, stir it around, have a think about how you want to manage your money in that kind of environment. The 4 hourly gives you areas to short from. The daily and the weekly gives you areas to long from. So the only problem you've got really, I suppose, is time and patience, really, just to see which one gets hit first. Do you want a short? Do you want a long? Do you want to wait? Do you want to go in? It's up to you, because I expect this all to resolve to higher highs over, we're almost in 2025, we're almost there. So as far as I'm concerned, absolutely massively bullish chart. We're going to look at stocks very briefly now, okay? Not the SPX. We're going to look at US 500. Now, what's going on here? This kind of looks a little crazy, a little volatile, doesn't it? What's going on here? I thought it's meant to be crypto is supposed to be the one that's volatile and crazy. Apparently not. So you had a 4 hourly candle here of almost 4%. What's going on? What's going on? I don't understand it. Maybe it's financial markets as a whole. Maybe it's not all cryptocurrency related. Maybe your altcoin of choice isn't made of, steel and it's not as robust as your gurus have said. Maybe the S&P is creating some kind of downtrend on the short-term timeframes that we're all to be afraid of. Maybe all financial markets are tied together strongly. I don't know. It looks like they are to me. So we're all doing the same thing. Overheated money flow index over here, marking the top. Hidden bullish divergence over here, marking the low. So far, we're rejected on the 20. That's fine. It's all fine. Where did we get support from? Just above the 20 and the 21. I reckon if the S&P does have another sweep lower, 5,824, slightly higher low than this wick low, and that should resolve to the up from there. This is still a massively bullish chart, which at this stage now has kind of more or less reset. But again, a little sweep lower, that's fine. If it wants to go even lower than that, that's fine. Because what are we looking at here? It's a bullish chart. Very bullish. So look, bullish on the S&P, bullish on Bitcoin, bullish on altcoins. Let's have a look at the Dixie. So the Dixie's still struggling with this area. We didn't get the rejection from this high, so we could still be looking at it from here. So a little bit over-optimistic to expect the rejection from this level. So we'll get rid of that now so I can claim 100% win ratio. But overall, you know, it's still a bullish chart. We said this around here. I remember those people on the comments again. They were saying, you know, this is where it breaks down. It's going to break down from here. It's going down below 100, baby. It's going down below 90. It's over. The Dixie's over. Have you not heard of the BRICS nations? Blah. So, well, I think it's going to bounce from here because it's a moving average of significance. And this is where things usually bounce from. Your moving averages don't mean anything. Well, it did here, didn't it? It certainly did. It offered nothing more than a V-shaped recovery as expected, which is, I suppose, what we're looking for on lots of other charts at the moment, really. So the question is, are we going to reject from here, or we're going to keep going up? As far as the Dixie is concerned, which is a bit of a guide, really, it's always better to look at the individual Forex charts. Bearish divergence on the daily. It's a bit messy, but it is there. Hidden bullish on the 4-hourly. Rejected so far on the centre of the Bollinger Band. If you're going to come back down, you're more likely going to get support around 106.6. So the Dixie could have already found a high now, could have already found its top. If it breaks out from here, it's certainly going to go up a lot higher. If it gets rejected from here, it's likely to get supported from here. And if it breaks down from here, that's the breakdown. That's what we're looking for. And it's going to happen. At some point, it will happen. Is it going to happen this week, this month, next year? Who knows? I'm still very bullish on it. And finally, we'll just look at the total 2. So the total 2, just like Bitcoin, slightly more bullish, I would say, though, has got itself a death cross, which was retested just after it was created, and now we're moving further down. So in this instance, I'll be looking for a bounce at any point. We might not even get down to this period down here, this 1.22 trillion. We might not. If we were to get down there, likely to see a bounce. So the 4-hourly is freshly gone bearish, but again, when in doubt, zoom out. We have lots of supports. We're still hanging around to that 50 exponential moving average. Getting rejections on the 20 and on the 10. So look, this is doing a descending triangle of sorts, and it's getting quite close to what would be an apex, using the 50 and the 10 or the 21 as the resistance of that. And again, it forms a breakout trade one way or another. A closure below here is more likely to come down to revisit the low, 1.22 trillion. If it comes down even lower than that, 1.11 trillion, that is nothing more than opportunity for a chart which is mega bullish. And look, I'm going to have to do it because, you know, people like to forget, but the overall analysis still rings true. This is why I'm, you know, more than optimistic about the market. This is the situation. This is your fractal. And again, you know, fractals, I use this as a guide of time. But we were looking for a breakout towards the end of this year. I was looking for a consolidation throughout December. You know, it could still continue to consolidate. We saw that the last cycle, we did have a nice big peak, and then we consolidated for, you know, a little bit of time. You know, consolidated several times in all fairness. But the overall direction for this year generally is going to be up, up, and up over time. So lower prices, better opportunities. That's all I can say. Because, you know, just like what happened in last year, really, with the alt season, I was telling people about it, and they were saying, no, you're a fool, it's never going to work. It's, oh my God, it's 500% up. And then, you know, I said, look, I think it's going to peak in, you know, I'm exiting positions. Oh my God, no, it's 500% up. It's got another 1 billion% to go. Why is it going down? I'm wrecked. And then I said, let's think about buying them back towards the end of this year, after the summer, accumulate. What are you talking about? The cycle's broken. Bang, up, another 400 or 500% up. Then it's going to continue to go up. It's the Santa rally. I don't really think it is, to be honest. I think it's. I think all my targets have been hit. Thank you very much. Why is it going down? It's a terrible Christmas. This is a scam market. So I'm going to get the same again now, because, yeah, I'm expecting it to break out rather than break down. If it does sweep down lower, it's not a big deal, but generally I'm expecting this to all resolve to the upside anyway. Whether it has to go down to the 80s before it goes up above, you know, previous highs, no big deal. Like, I'm not particularly interested in trading these shorter term timeframes when you have mixed signals on the 4-hourly versus the daily. I like symmetry across all timeframes. The 4-hourly doesn't look particularly good, I have to say, which is going to keep me away from sort of any kind of futures trading, really. And again, it's the holidays. Come on, let's just have a nice time. Let's just buy those spot positions and stake those altcoins and wait for brighter days, because you're gonna get them. They will come. It's like when people used to ask me about XRP. Is XRP is doing the same thing? It's going to be a big breakout this year. It's a 6-year accumulation. Just allow it to work. Blah blah blah. But I want to buy at 51 cents. I will not buy at 51.5 cents. Okay, that's up to you. That's your analysis. Good, fine. We've all got criteria that needs to be filled. But my criteria really is, at this point now, if it goes down lower, I will buy more. If it goes up higher, I will leave it. If it continues to go down lower, I will buy more, because I expect it to resolve higher at the end of this year. And fourth quarter really is where I'm looking for a peak, and then I will start to sell in mass. Because that's where I think the market's going to likely see significant peaks. But right now, these are the good times. All right. We've waited. We've seen consolidations from some of these altcoins. I mean, let's just go to the ones that I've got saved up over here. And again, these are nothing special. These are just some of the old dinosaur coins. I mean, look at that. What a beautiful beast chart. Everybody, what an absolute beast. 51 cents? No way. No way. So even XRP, is only down 29% from its peak. There's so many altcoins that we look at on these streams that are down 50, 60, probably even at this point 70%. Could have been avoided. I'm just saying it could have been avoided. But if you're still holding on to them, as long as they're not an absolute steaming turd, I'm sure it's going to resolve to the upside anyway. Just give it a break. Just relax. But yeah, I mean, altcoins as a whole haven't really done an enormous amount of gaining, but over the December period, they have mostly been consolidating. So it is what it is. This is a market that doesn't really care about us. We just take part in it. And it gives you what it gives you. Like I said, exiting those positions in early December was it was all taken out of my hands. Though my orders were filled, and my sell orders also, sold. So it was all taken out of my hands. It's all done. Now it's a matter of waiting for the new buy orders that were filled the other day to now hit the new sell orders, which I would expect to see hit probably over the next couple of months. And then the hodls will all be sold, towards the back end of next year. Right, I have really nothing much more to say. I hope this has been useful for you. I feel that the market is becoming an emotional place again. Well, it always is. But, counter to what I expect, people are saying the opposite, which normally fills me a little bit more with confidence, because that most people generally are wrong. They look at the chart and they think it's going to keep going down, and it's all over and it's all finished and it's all terrible, and, there is no more money to be made, or there will never be any money to be made, and the market is broken, the market cycle is wrong, the model will not fit this time, although it fits perfectly at the moment. Just relax. Just relax, okay? Opportunities exist with lower prices, and there is nothing else to say other than that. Okay, we expected lower prices to take place. We have now received lower prices, and I have bought those lower prices. This is just me, all right? This is just my analysis, all right? This is just my trading style. But again, if you were to rewind the big swings of last year and this year, you will recognize that actually I got them all. I got them all. They might not be perfect, but they end up being hundreds of %. I expect to see the same thing again next year with opportunities given to us more or less today, and with any lower price that comes with those as well. Think about it like this. It's the easiest way to think about it. What's the risk versus the reward? If the reward outweighs the risk, it's an opportunity. If it's the opposite way round, it's not an opportunity. Okay? It's not an opportunity. As far as I can tell, the reward outweighs the risk at these levels and lower massively. So if I buy now and it goes down another 10-20%, that's still an acceptable risk, because the upside would be several 100%, which is like 10 times more reward than risk. That is simple when it comes to thinking about how to go about monitoring the price action, not picking it up to the penny of the low, but recognizing that lows are being formed and highs are much higher. It's that simple. Right, if that makes sense, great. Let me know in the comments. For some reason, my subscribers there's like an execution of subscribers. I don't know what happened. It can't be real. Something weird's going on my YouTube. I've got a Rumble account if you want to join me there. Seems a little bit more legit. Something weird's going on YouTube. I'm down like 1,500 subscribers over 1 month, which is crazy because all I've been doing is giving accurate information. So something weird's going on. Right, but thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day and take it easy.